And so, let me talk a little bit about something that has happened very recently, and I'm talking about a new president being appointed for the Caribbean Development Bank. Now, we know the circumstances of the Caribbean Development Bank needing a new president had to do with some very controversial developments involving a St. Lucian economist, Dr. Hyginus Leon, more commonly and popularly known as Jean Leon, who was the president of the CDB, and well before his term came even close to expiring, that he was forced out. Yeah, he actually, technically speaking, he resigned, but people say it's constructive dismissal. When you take a man, you send him on administrative leave because of certain accusations. Up to today, we don't know what the accusations are. We don't know. You send him on administrative leave. You do not take any action against him. You do not tell him, well, this is the complaint against you. You do not tell him, well, we are inviting you to a hearing to resolve certain complaints about you, whatever they are. The period of administrative leave, and you don't recall him. He comes back to work. Basically, you tell him, no, we're not ready for you. Go back on leave again. I mean, the man is right to feel. But, here's my point that I want to make as part of what I'm going to say. Absolute alarm and outrage was expressed by about 4 prime ministers of the Eastern Caribbean, not talking necessarily of the OECS. About 4 prime ministers, if I remember, I may not recall every one of them, expressed alarm and outrage at the manner in which Dr. Hyginus Leon was forced out of that position. And this is a matter that will probably end up in court or require some huge settlement, whatever it was. You're supposed to tell the man what is the accusation, what is the complaint against him, blah, blah, blah. Because people will speculate all kinds of things that are not good for the man's reputation, for its standing. We can inadvertently put Dr. Leon on the same level as Eubaldus Raymond. People will start to speculate, maybe some secretary that was passing by his desk and he stretched out his hand, these are kind of things. I probably shouldn't have said that, because then you plant foolishness in people's minds. But, you might end up putting the man on the same level as Eubaldus Raymond. You might believe that is something that was going on in his office, by his desk, whatever, and then nothing shall go so. You are supposed to confront the man, with the accusations and even let him have a chance to respond to his accuser. Nothing like that was done. Among those expressing alarm, Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister and Minister for Finance and Corporate Governance, Gaston Brown, said, this thing is just weird. Ralph Gonzalez didn't put any water in his mouth. I think he wrote to the board of, governors of the, ECCB. Ralph Gonzalez's son, who's the finance minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Camilo Gonzalez, had his share to say he didn't put water in his mouth. Our own Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, said, this is something which must never, ever, ever be allowed to happen again. And there may be others. I can't remember if Terence Drew, I think, St. Kitts and Nevis, whatever, they had their say on that. Only one prime minister who you would expect would be very directly connected and concerned with this thing. The prime minister of the home territory where the Caribbean Development Bank is based, Barbados. I don't think we have heard Mia Motley say anything about that. If she has, forgive me, but I didn't hear it. I missed it. For Mia Motley to say, look, she's very concerned about what has happened. I mean, you don't have to take the side of Dr. Leon, Mia Motley has not said a thing about it, to the best of my knowledge and recollection, to express concern about it. So now they go and they appoint a new governor of the Caribbean Development Bank. And surprise, who's surprised? No surprise, a Barbadian. But you know what? I don't have anything wrong with Barbadian, I have nothing wrong with Barbadian being president, because we have St. Lucian, at least 3 St. Lucians who have been directors general of the OECS. I didn't hear any of the other places complaining, about it and so on. So I don't have any problem with it in the home territory or anything like that. But you need to ask yourself, when I look at the qualifications given for Daniel Best, to me it goes a little off track from all other presidents of the Caribbean Development Bank. To me, all of them have been economists. Forgive me if I'm wrong. People who are considered economists, Sir Arthur Lewis, William Demas, Compton Bourne, You speak about those people, you talk about people who are considered to be eminent economists. Dr. Leon himself, I think, what was it, Curly King? Curly King was the Secretary General of CARICOM, William Demas was both CARICOM Secretary General and President of the CDB and so on. But you had those kinds of names, and they're always names of people who are recognized in academia, in professional life, as being economists. I mean, when you have a name like Arthur Lewis, Arthur Lewis was once President of the Caribbean Development Bank. You talk about William Demas, I'm not going to have a PhD, whatever it is, but they are recognized as great economic minds and thinkers and so on. Daniel Best seems to be a guy who's an engineer, a civil engineer, structural engineer, a man who's infrastructure projects and so on. Now, I don't know if a requirement is you must have an economics degree. Sometimes you can have a mixed degree. Sometimes you can have a master's in development banking, which is a cross between an MBA and an economics degree, Now, maybe Daniel Best has that, because I'm seeing that he has an MBA and I'm seeing that he has a background in development banking. I don't know if he was mentored. I don't know if he was tutored. I don't know if he was influenced by a St. Lucian who is kind of, quote unquote, famous, and who's also known to be a good friend of Mia Motley, and Mia Motley known to be a good friend of his. But the Board of Governors of the Caribbean Development Bank, according to a recent report, announced the election of Mr. Daniel Best, a native of Barbados, as the 7th president of the institution. This decision, and based on the date of the report says reached today, underscores the bank's commitment to visionary leadership and sustainable development across the Caribbean region. Mr. Best brings a wealth of experience and a deep understanding of the region's development challenges and opportunities. With a distinguished career spanning over 20 years in development finance, policy planning, and infrastructure investment, he is well positioned to lead the CDB into its next chapter of impactful regional transformation. As president, Mr. Best will oversee the bank's strategic direction, focusing on its core mandate to reduce poverty and inequality while fostering inclusive and sustainable growth. Under his leadership, the bank aims to build on its legacy while addressing emerging challenges and opportunities in a rapidly changing global landscape. Daniel Best biography. Mr. Daniel Best, the Barbadian national, has nearly 3 decades of experience in what? Infrastructure development, development finance, project management, and strategic leadership. His career spans both the public and private sectors across the Caribbean, with significant contributions to sustainable development in the region. Mr. Best has worked with the Caribbean Development Bank for over 15 years, holding progressively senior positions, including Director of Projects Department. In this role, he managed the bank's investment, lending, and grant portfolios and played a key role in fostering strategic partnership with global and regional institutions. He currently serves as Senior Infrastructure and Development Advisor to whom? He currently serves as Senior Infrastructure and Development Advisor to whom? To the Prime Minister of Barbados, on secondment from the CDB. So he's coming from Mia Motley's office. Surprise, surprise, right? He's coming from Mia Motley's office to go and head the CDB. Mr. Best holds a Master of Business Administration from the University of Durham in England, as well as a master's degree in construction engineering and management, and a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, Trinidad. He is also an accredited construction management professional. I don't know how much an MBA, master's in business, whatever, carries so much weight in economics that you can be considered. It can substitute for being an economist. Philip Jepia is an economist because he had a degree before he went to do an MBA, executive MBA. He had a degree in economics from the University of the West Indies, So I don't know whether an MBA is a substitute for having a degree in economics. But there's another write-up that Best gets, online, and I'll tell you where it's from. Mr. Daniel Best, my partial namesake, It's called from CaribbeanAccelerator.org, and it says biography Daniel Best. As director of the projects department of the Caribbean Development Bank, Daniel Best is accountable for the management, pipeline development, appraisal, and implementation of the bank's lending and technical assistance programs in all the sectors in which the bank operates. Since becoming director in 2015, Daniel has consistently led the department in delivering strong results which form the majority contribution in the bank achieving its critical approval and disbursement targets. Before being promoted, to me that sounds like a senior loan officer position, a guy who evaluates things to say whether we should lend them the money or whether they don't. I don't see it as somebody who has, what it takes to have overall strategic leadership and direction to an organization so vast and profound. Well, that's me, an ignoramus who's never been there, and I don't know what it is, But Daniel Best, a guy who will come and evaluate a project, because construction is a big thing. Since the recent economic downturns and so on, IMF and all have advised governments and nations to invest in infrastructure. It's a good way to give stimulus to the economy, to generate employment. Philip Jappier knows, when he talks about year of infrastructure and investing heavily, he knows. He knows the capacity of infrastructure investment and development, to catalyze employment, to stir up the economy and to do a lot of things. He understands that. It ain't just that he like to go and pour concrete and steel all over the place, Before being promoted to his current position, Daniel held various management positions within the projects department, including that of acting division chief in the economic infrastructure division, where he was responsible for all infrastructure interventions, including those in the water and sanitation and energy sectors. Does that make him the kind of fellow who will be of the caliber of a Jean Lear, of a Compton Bond, of Sir Arthur Lewis, of William Dimas, to have that overall coordinating, strategic visioning, policy directing thing of the CDB? I don't know. Prior to joining CDB, Mr. Best was the regional project manager for a multinational commercial financial institution where he successfully led the implementation of the organization's regional infrastructure development mandate. In all these things about projects and infrastructure, have you ever heard that Daniel Best was the actual head or director or president of anything? He's an advisor here. He's a coordinator here. He works in the projects department here. He's a departmental head. To take him on to make him head of the overall Caribbean Development Bank, given all its extent and its complexity and so on. This is one of the things that I know it raised my eyebrow. It raised my eyebrow when you place him against the template, against the tracing paper of those who have preceded him. Mr. Best is a civil engineer. This is what it's saying there. He's a civil engineer. How engineer you may say as president of the Caribbean Development Bank at Chelma? With a Master of Business Administration from the University of Durham, many people who are technically competent and skilled and qualified, later on they realize that, look, they need to have an entrepreneurial orientation outlook. So sometimes at the back end of their career, in whatever technical field, even medicine, they go and do an MBA. They go and do a project management degree and so on, because they recognize that you can have all the technical skills and you don't have that business and entrepreneurial savvy about you. You might be slaving your whole life and you're not seeing the fruits of your labor because you don't really know how to organize it into an entrepreneurial, nest egg that is going to give you back something. Mr. Best is a civil engineer with a Master of Business Administration from the University of Durham and a project management professional with over 24 years successful experience building, leading, and functioning within multidisciplinary and multicultural project teams and work environments. Daniel has a passion for acting. That was what I found strange in this thing. And the acting they're talking about is not the big screen, I suspect. That from time to time they've given the man to act as this and act as that, to act as director. He's a passion for acting. This is very revealing, Does he have a passion and a commitment and a competence and capability to not act but to hold the substantive position and to deliver, the success and the targets and so on that, the region and all those who are part of the Caribbean Development Bank stakeholders and so on that they want. Mr. Daniel has a passion for acting and has become a central figure within the Barbadian performing arts scene, appearing in a number of local stage, television, and movie productions. If I were the person writing that, or Daniel, I'll say leave out that last paragraph. It bears no relevance, it's not germane at all to the seriousness of the Caribbean Development Bank, and I hope his passion for acting is not taken into the Caribbean Development Bank. This is the man, they're replacing Hyginus Jean Leon with. And the place he was before was in the office of Prime Minister Mia Motley. I'll not say anything else for now. I'll leave it at that. My guest has been patient enough with me. Catherine Sillis, the voice behind Raise Your Voice St. Lucia, is here with us. And the occasion is World Human Rights Day, the 10th of December. It's also the last day of the 16 days of activism for all forms of violence against women and children. And I want to thank you for being here. And let's press the flesh, okay? All right, so Catherine, tell me what's on your mind and what's on the mind of Raise Your Voice and human rights and the capstone of the activism days and so on. You take it over.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, Shelton, people meet me on the road. I'm not hearing you, I'm not doing anything. So I want to say that, our workload has tripled. When we used to do matches and we were all over the place, we didn't have an office and we didn't have 6-7 people coming to us for the day for us to sit down, do intake, prescribe treatment plans for them and whatnot. So now it's like you start work at 9 and you finish at 7 because you're doing face-to-face with people. So that takes up a lot of our time, including actually managing this organization, preparing grant application, preparing report, and all the other things that are demanded from us. Today's Human Rights Day, and today we speak about the rights of everybody. But I want to focus on an unprecedented case that came down from the High Court last week. Last week, the High Court issued a order that a woman who is not married cannot travel with her child because the father filed an injunction in the High Court for her not to travel to the US to spend Christmas with her child. And it's unprecedented in the sense that High Court never get involved with children born in any affiliation. That's what the law says it is. The law says if you're not married, you're an affiliation. So you have a child with somebody, they're entitled to $200, and that's the extent of your responsibilities as a man. The woman has
to give
responsibility for the child. The man.
If I have a child with a woman and I have the child,
that is what
can I demand my $200 from her, that she has to give me some kind of
yes, some women can pay that too. It depends on who has the child, but 98% of
is
the
that
time,
a common thing that women
98% of children in single parent care are with the women.
Okay.
Maybe the other 2% are men. I don't know. Maybe they have 1 or 2 men.
Do you know of any cases where men
maybe 1 or 2
where men go and press the issue?
Maybe
like
1 or 2.
Woman should give them money.
Yeah, men, especially abusive ones, will do anything, and they will do that.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So the order came down from the High Court that the young woman cannot travel with her child, and everybody we have spoken to, even lawyers in the UK and everywhere else, find that it's such an odd order to come from the High Court, because the High Court is essentially bypassing the civil code and every other piece of legislation that says at the moment, if you're a woman and you are unmarried, you are the custodian of your child. The other thing people seem to take for granted in St. Lucia is that they seem to believe that if you have a child with somebody, the grandmother and grandfather has a lot of rights over that child. Grandmother and grandfather, you will read every single law in St. Lucia, and you will not get the name of grandparents, grandmother, grandfather in any book, in any legal document in any way. The only time grandmothers and grandfathers have rights, if their rights have been given to them by either the mother or the father, or through their own thing. I want my children to be close to my grandmother and my grandfather, so I give them access to my children. But grandmothers and grandfathers don't have legal rights in law.
Okay.
No, they don't. But that has been happening in St. Lucia. The fact that if you have a child with somebody, the family is well-to-do, they feel, oh, that's not the person I would want for my son, but I also want my grandchild. They terrorize you in the courts.
They feel they can do a better job.
They have more money, and they can give the child everything. And we can take the child on vacation, and we can take them for dinner, and we can do this, you can do that. But one of the things we must guard against in St. Lucia is that Parliament may close in St. Lucia. And Parliament has not made any law that criminalizes poverty or basic and modest living.
Or gives grandparents
take
over a child like
even
that. Even
fathers don't have the rights if you're not married to the mother.
Okay.
There is
primary custody in law.
The primary custody in law, from the civil code right down to everything else, is the mother.
Okay.
And for the High Court to hand down such an order it is illegal. And we want to put the people that did that on notice that we are going to appeal this decision all the way to the CCJ if we have to. But you see the thing in St. Lucia, we do not create precedents. We just say, I'm not doing that, I don't have money to go to a lawyer, and we allow a lot of injustice to prevail. this case of grandmothers feel they're entitled to children has been happening. That's not the only case. That may be the third one that we are dealing with. And they terrorize you in the sense that they make you feel as if you are nothing. They bring you to the family court, the Department of Human Services, the family court. All of them are encouraging that kind of behavior. Wow. Because the family court magistrate can say that the government of St. Lucia has not put any legal framework in place for me to give you the person child. I cannot entertain that.
Do we find that kind of justice being adhered to in the court? Because some people complain.
But the court itself is on justice.
Okay.
The court promotes injustice in St. Lucia.
That's what I want to ask.
They do.
That sometimes the court...
The family court promotes injustice. The district court promotes it. And I had not seen it in the high court, because I always say if I had committed a crime, I want to go to the high court. Because I find, especially in criminal matters, the judges are very aware of rule of law, the course of justice, and everything else. But the family and the district court, I don't know where the magistrate do their degree, but they're behaving as if they don't know laws of St. Lucia. They just know what they want to know. So we have had these cases coming up that grandmothers feel they're entitled to children because the mother don't have money, she's not working for big money, she's not nobody, and I want my child.
And usually, you know what I find? As if the bias is always against the woman.
The bias is always against the woman.
In other words, it's the mother of the father of the man and the parents who feel
and
that this woman...
The mothers are the culprits in this instance. The fathers support, but the mothers are the culprit. And
the grandmothers, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
They emotionally, they psychologically abuse you. They drag you before the court. They filing orders for all kinds of things, and you have to leave your work and go to court. Sometimes you get fired because you're always in court. They call you, they email you, they literally terrorize you. And this cannot continue because it is illegal. It is, but it's happening in St. Lucia, and we see it happen. And every time we have to be providing emotional and psychological support to young mothers who are going through this thing. And we are shocked that the High Court will even hear an affiliation case, much less give that order. And it is unprecedented and it is illegal. And I know the first thing going to say, I'm not a lawyer, but I can read and I can research. And I speak to lawyers and I ask questions.
Okay, wow.
We must always guard against people doing what they want that is outside of the framework of the law that Parliament has put to protect us all. Because today is me, tomorrow is you, next year you hearing is everybody, and it's a problem.
Okay, let me ask you this. What kind of effect does that have on a mother when she's being terrorized, so to speak, by people who have more resources, who want to take her child away from her?
They terrorize her, and then they will begin to speak about her mental health. Because if you ask me, there's a police officer who leaves the central police station and is at that girl workplace every day. And if you see she's not there, he terrorizes the rest of the staff. A police officer in uniform. He is supposed to be a police officer serving the public, but it appears that he's working for a particular law firm. And he does that every day, always bringing documents, always bringing a document from the court. And the family court is enabling that kind of behavior because the magistrate refused to say, the government of St. Lucia says, if you are a single mother, your child is yours. If I can speak to the mother, let her agree that she will give you access to this child, but I cannot do what you're asking. They do it.
What are they asking? In other words,
they're asking for them to take the child away from her completely and give it to me. As the grandmother. They asking, she has not agreed to that yet. Maybe she's afraid to make that judgment. Number two, they asking that you are allowed, you must bring the child to their home at a particular time, or they must pick up that child at a particular home. They went so far as to make her sign a consent order for shared custody. There is no shared custody in an affiliation. You have a child with somebody you're not married, you don't owe them anything.
So in other words, that document she signed, it's ab initio null and void.
Null and void.
Okay.
But people don't know that, and people are terrified that they're going to be sent to jail by the court. And they threaten them with contempt of court. The young lady mother was having a discussion with that grandmother we are talking about. And she was complaining and she was quarreling. that particular person brought the recording to the family court, and the family court magistrate demanded the woman come and apologize to the court. Yes, but when you are talking about
the
court,
didn't offend the
exactly,
court. She didn't say anything.
You can only offend the court if you are part and parcel of a case in front of the presiding officer.
Right.
You cannot be at your home talking somebody, taping your conversation without your consent, without your permission.
So this suggests,
and take it to the magistrate, and the magistrate demanding you come to the court and apologize because you don't have respect for the court, and she will charge you with contempt of court. And this happens, Shelton. This happens a lot. Threatening people, especially domestic violence victims, single mothers who are coming to the court for help, threatening them with jail.
What do you think is at the root of that? This sounds to me, I'll tell you before you answer, that a lot of those things are conducted on the basis of friendship and social circles.
But the order was done because of friendship and social circles.
For a magistrate,
and I can tell you, in my 58 years, going to 59 in St. Lucia, that is, people always say there are two sets of laws, one for the poor, one for the rich. That's the first time I've seen it in black and white. That is the first time I've seen it in black and white.
I'll tell you what, let's take a commercial break, and then when we come back, we have to continue talking deeper into this. This is The Real Issues, folks. I had no idea it was going to be so engrossing, so engaging, so gripping, and so on. And I want you to continue being a part of it on the other side of this commercial break.
Christmas. From our home to yours. MBC Real FM family wishes you a joyful Christmas. Thank you. Watch MBC for your favorite Christmas movies and programs, and tune into Real FM for your shot at winning fabulous prizes.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Get more with Quartz Ready Finance. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance for your chance to win $50,000 in cash. Plus, win amazing prizes every week. Fast and easy application process, quick approval, fixed monthly installments, insurance protection, convenient, apply online, affordable payments, fixed interest rates for easy budgeting. Quartz Ready Finance. Ready when you are.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
If you recently submitted a claim to the National Insurance Corporation, you also need to submit your financial account information to get paid. All NIC benefit claims are now paid conveniently through your local financial institution. To provide your bank or credit union account information, simply log on to the NIC website at www.stlucianic.org. Click the Financial Account Information tab and fill out the form. It's that easy. You only submit once. Ensure you enter the details of an open active account in your name. If you do not have access to the internet, visit any NIC office to collect a financial account information form. Help us to help you. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Bro, the law states that a mother is the legal custodian of a child. That's a message I'm getting on WhatsApp from an ex-police officer. He says what Miss Catherine must realize, even if the law says this or that, to every piece of legislation there becomes responsibility. Sometimes the law says something, but still gives the magistrate or the judge discretionary powers when dispensing justice. What do you say to that, Your Honor?
They have discretionary powers when they have cause. So if a woman cannot take care of the child, is not responsible, is allowing the child to be anyhow, yes, they have discretion. They don't have no discretion when the woman taking care of the child. And the person that asks if I have children, yes, I have 2 children. I have a son, I have a daughter. I have another son that I raised from 4 months. I have 2 grandchildren. And you want to know why I'm angry? Because I sit in my office every day and I see the things men do to women. I see the things men do to children. I see what things men do to little boys and little girls. And I see the people who come with broken finger and broken teeth, broken jawbone, broken facial bone, broken arm, broken ribs, broken legs. So I'm always angry and I accept my anger.
Boy, what does that remind me of? One of those Marvel movies and so on where some aliens were attacking Earth and one of the guys said to Dr. Bruce Banner, hey, we could use some of that anger now, to turn him into the Hulk. Yeah. And he turned and he said to the guy, you know something? That's my secret, Exactly. I'm always angry.
I make absolutely no excuse for me being angry. What they should be asking is why do men continue to beat women, to disfigure them, to break their arm, to break their legs, break their face, break their teeth. Ask us how much money we spend on injuries. Yes. That's what you should ask.
Good afternoon, Brother Shelton. Can you say hello to Miss Sister Catherine Sillis, strong woman? Tell her it's Peter the Great. I think the name is Peter Montag or something like that.
Yeah.
And it says, that's him saying hello. Another one says, Shelton, I have my stepdaughter in Canada. She came here for vacation with her children. The father of one didn't want her to come with the child. He wanted to take her to court for that. But she took steps before him and the judge had her to travel with the child. All right, so that's another one again. So let your guests know I'm outside waiting for the watch too. So if somebody likes the top, and they like your watch, and I can tell you that this person is Cornelia Jacob.
That watch. That watch does get me in so much trouble.
So you're about to be ombred the moment you step outside the station. Let me see if we have any more messages, but go ahead.
Shelton, one of the things with St. Lucians, they are never angry when it's not them. It's not them. So they are not angry. But the day something happened to them, they want me to lift the cathedral and put it on top of the pito for them. Wow. I assure you. And that is the problem with us. When something has happened to people, we do not take a minute to say, let me look at the substantive issue. We look at peripheral issue about I complain about judges and magistrates. So who going to complain about judges and magistrates? Somebody has to complain if they're not doing what they're doing right. And don't tell me I can't complain, because they are public servants getting paid by taxpayers. Somebody has to complain if they have done something wrong. And yes, I say it again, the family court magistrate does do what she wants when she wants, and that order that came out of the High Court is illegal and wrong.
All right, okay. So let me see on the Facebook Live. Jaquan has sent me the link. Let's see what people on the Facebook Live are saying. And we can take calls at any time that you feel okay with them.
We can take calls to Shelton.
Yes,
we can take calls.
All right, so let's go to the phone now. And anyone who wants to call and to make a point in response or in addition to what Miss Catherine Seelys has said, some of it quite alarming, folks, to believe those things are happening and they're not being justly and satisfactorily dispensed with or disposed of in the court, in the place of justice. That is, to me, one of the more troubling aspects of it.
And you know what people do?
We have a call on the line. Let's take that caller. Hi. Caller, good afternoon. Real Issues, you're on the air.
Sheldon.
Yes, hi.
Miss Catherine Seelys, ou di about se gwa maman ka vle se mamay la. Me se gwa maman ka vle se ti mamay la pou rescue yo. Because papa yo pa ka vive ebe papa yo pa la. Et puis non maman ka pour la van chayan le yo. Jou go maman point yo se le go maman ka sa ki ve yo rescue yo. Outan, loi c'est ici poko loi poko ni pièce to la de le hot pote hol bay maman de se misey ka we. Outan, from 6 ans yo ka choy yo si yo pale. Maman la non maman ka bize yo. $200 papa ka mette la ba yo. Non maman ka manger comme elle a faim. Go maman ni pour ka débouti ici yo. Outan ça na dou la, c'est maman même pas même mêlé yo ka 6 le ka quitter nom nan jouer ici yo. Outan, bye bye. Fais loi bien.
Madame, c'est moi d'où ça? $200 nom lan ka bay ti maman la pa ni pièce l'argent pour bay pièce nom manger. Because si moi marché descend chimé, ma même bouzaille la imassing, I just passer bola ou yek $200 fini. Beti ça non ni pour stop ça. Ek la ni maman qui pa ka point ke ti maman nous ja parlé about ça, nous dit yo sa point ti maman la e gwa maman pour point kay. Mais ti maman la nous ka parlé about la pa ni rien maman ka point kay, il pa ni pièce cause pour gwa maman il vle point la men. Ek moi dou bout bossa.
Oui, loi pas qu'à recogniser pour gwa maman pointi maman et bien pour yo ka contrôler, c'est maman et puis papa qui ni droit dans ces bails et puis depuis si un monde qui pas quoi, c'est li maman qui ni plus droit pour ti maman là. We have another call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues, you're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, Shelton. Well, actually, I'm a parent of my daughter. Okay, I had my daughter, which her mom left us. My daughter is only 2. Now
Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm understanding you. You had a daughter with someone, and the person left.
Yes.
Okay, and you have had custody and care of that daughter.
Not custody, care.
So who has custody?
No, we didn't go through that because very well the mother know that I will be able to take care of my child in.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to understand exactly what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, in the right way. So I went to Human Services, and I didn't know the law. I just wanted to know what I have to do, even in case the mother want to come back and take the child, because I know to myself, my child's mother will never be able to do a good job than the job that I'm doing. Now I'm listening to Miss Steely there, and I'm hearing she saying about the fathers. I mean, everything is not all fathers, just like it's not all mothers. And I felt I had to call. My child is only 2, and I am taking care of her. A daughter, a girl. All right? So it's not all fathers that the same. Not all fathers that will.
So a woman walk out on you and left a little girl for you?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Can you imagine, Shelton? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she left because actually a day, Shelton, that burned me so much. A day I told her to pick up the child from school. You know what she told me? When you finish, come and take your child because I have my business to go and do.
Okay.
That burned me so much, Shelton. And you see the same anger that Catherine Seeley has, I have that also.
So let me ask you something. Are you a working man who has to get up and go to work?
I am a working man.
So who's helping you to take care of that little girl? She has very young.
Well, to be honest, Shelton, actually, right now, she's back at home. Who's back at home? The same mother.
Oh, so it's just
the same mother.
It's just a little.
The same mother.
Okay.
But when that's the only problem I had when I had to be going to work, Shelton.
So who was taking care of the child in that time?
My mother. Okay. My mother.
So the same grandparents had to step in.
There also.
Okay, let me make Catherine apologize to all grandparents because the grandparents.
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize. I take care of my grandchildren.
Yeah,
good. I'm just joking.
I am a working man, and when I have to go and pick up that daughter of mine, no supervisor, no boss can tell me I cannot leave or whatever. You see that work? I will leave that work behind to go and pick up my child.
And then how are you going to take care of the child? But I'm happy the mother came back.
But Shelton,
children do best with both parents.
Let's talk about that while the gentleman is on the line.
Is true, okay. That is true. With both parents.
Okay.
With both parents. Can you imagine when she used to call my daughter? My daughter didn't want to talk to her.
Okay, all right. But go ahead.
Let's talk about that while you're on the line. Yes. You are the father of the child. You working and you have to do that and you have to do that. What you think the mother doing when she working too and when she have to do something? Women, I used to work and I carried my 2 children to work with their bags and my bag, drop them. When I come from work, I pick them up, I put them there. When men do that, they always think they're special. But 25,000 women do it daily and they don't complain because we feel that is women's job.
I am saying they have good women. They have good men too.
They have good men, they have good women, they have good everybody. But they have some terrible men.
You are not saying they have good men.
But why would I say that?
Because you
did you hear me say that all men are abusive? Did I say that? No,
I never said that.
Exactly. Then why would I say that?
All right, I'll tell you what. At the end of the day, we don't want to make this a conversation about whether men are bad and women are bad, or women are good and men are good, right? We want to make this a conversation that is about the welfare, first of all, of children when they're involved, and the welfare of partners against abuse, against violence, against moun ka kwaze fijay moun, infim moun, coupe bois moun. It don't matter whether it's man doing it to woman or woman doing it to man, but the evidence, the statistics, in most cases, women are the ones who are getting the worst of it, okay? There's no denying it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Wrap up, my friend.
Okay,
anything further? You good? Okay, thank you.
Continue your job you're doing. Okay, my lady.
All right. All right, we're taking your calls on 487-9849. That's the number on which you can WhatsApp call us, and also 4533911. In between calls, Catherine, go ahead.
We want to say that as soon as you speak...
Caller, hold on from before.
As soon as you talk about domestic violence on women, people throw at you men too. Let me tell you that we have never, ever tell men no come. We fought tooth and nail for the Domestic Violence Act to recognize men, women, children, everybody.
Okay.
So if men are not coming to sit in my office and say me I'm being abused, I don't have no crystal ball and I'm not a gade.
Okay.
So I cannot speak about men being abused.
Anyway. Truth be told, Catherine, si yon femme ka pete la che mwen, avin do sa pièce sa. Okay,
trois moun la de ça qui fait ça.
Okay, play way out of sympathy, okay, tout net et
non, ma fait ça.
Dans blanc ka oui,
non, ça. Écoutez les trois noms là de ça, nous pas ka faire ça.
On femme ka pete la che mwen, qui pièce moun savent ça. We have a call on the line. Hi caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Shelton.
Ba ma don question avant di rien encore. Si on ka encore femme la pété la che occasion, ka di moun ça?
Ça va ça fait.
Hein?
Ça va ça fait. Could you say one?
Ça va ça fait pièce moun, right?
Could you say one?
All right, okay. Parlez, this how the guy dey have with this too.
Okay. Listen to that thing, I'm so annoyed to hear that judgment from that judge. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, we hearing you, go ahead.
I remember Justice Dovey, the late Justice Dovey, saying openly in the court that the mother, that the child is the property of the mother. And she said it loud and clear and with no ambiguity. The little I know about the law is true. Some fathers get a little get stopped sometimes, but the child belongs to the mother. And for a judge to deny a mother the right to take a child on vacation, that judge has overstepped his or her bounds. Yeah. I'm making no apologies for that.
Okay, but the fact is that what we are told in the actual narrative, the judge allowed the mother to travel. The father was trying to prevent her from traveling with the child to come to vacation in St. Lucia, I think, or wherever, but the magistrate allowed it, said the mother can travel with the child.
Yeah, but that's Canada. In St. Lucia, you get privileges depending on who you are.
Okay.
And for the police officer who wrote about the judge or the magistrate they have discretion. They have discretion in everything.
Okay.
They have a discussion in everything.
Okay, my friend. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, good. Right.
All right. Do we find that the police, because of, I don't know if it's work that's part of their duties, but they get jobs to do, moonlighting jobs, to do security at supermarkets, to do what they call, how you call them, bailiffs and servers for law firms and so on. Does that put them in a position where they can essentially do things that you've spoken about, basically to intimidate people and so on? Is that
sometimes they do that?
Okay, all right.
And it goes to personality, because I guess a lot of people get part-time job and they say, I'm just going to do my little part-time job and thing. But if I see it looking iffy, I'm not in it. But some of them actually take their role very seriously and terrorize people on behalf of law firms. Yes, they do it.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Cornelia.
Good afternoon, Miss Sealis.
Good afternoon.
No to the watch and the top, that's off the table, okay?
No. That can't be no. Don't worry, when I'm ready, I know where to go.
Okay.
But let me tell you, we are so sensitive. We quick to analyze things we think we hear that we don't actually hear what was said. Grandmothers have no right over children as long as the mothers and fathers are in their lives. That is what Catherine said essentially. Now, she is not saying that they are not fathers who are not in the lives of their children. Bravo to those fathers. But when you as a mother, in this country, it is majority of mothers taking care of children with absent fathers. Those fathers don't care, and half the times these men believe that it is money that must take care of children. Of course you need money to raise children. You need money. But when you don't have money, don't abuse the mother. Be in the children's lives. But they don't do that because they're punishing the woman for leaving them half the time. That is the reason. And by virtue of punishing the mother, they're punishing the children. But children grow. Now, if there's a scenario where there is no mother in the life of a child and the grandmother steps in, the grandmother intervenes, of course, that grandmother would automatically have rights because the mother has forgotten her role. And if the grandmother on the father's side decides to play the role because the father is absent, whether by choice or circumstance, that grandmother essentially has a right in the child's life. But Catherine is a grandmother who takes care of her grandchildren, just like me. I'm a mother hen by my grandchildren, but the mothers and fathers are there. I have a son. Let me tell you, that boy is like a protector over his children. Okay? We have to do what we must do. But then again, when you go in front of the family court, if you don't know what you're about and you encounter that family court magistrate, she can make you believe that you should never come there in the first place. So it is important for us as mothers to know our roles and know our rights where the law is concerned. Already they said express message, and this is my contribution. Good afternoon.
Right. Thank you very much. Yes. Any comments on that?
Yeah, the $200 is not enough. And I have been prodding and writing and saying that we need to look at a comprehensive child maintenance bill.
So let me tell
$200 not enough. Lawyers paying $200, politicians paying $200, doctors paying $200 because that's what
are you saying that look, we should look at a means.
We like a means-based system, and we also look at a system where you don't jail people for not paying child support, send them to bodily. You put a system in place if they need help to get a job, and you put a system in place where you can make sure that they put the money there, because some of them garnish their wages. Some of them who are self-employed, they make the money and they don't pay children. I know people who live like kings and they don't feed their children, specifically because if the woman decides I'm ending the relationship. That happens. And one of the things in St. Lucia, and that is why we did a domestic violence perception surveillance at 50-something%, is because St. Lucians are always want to protect things they know that is wrong. Domestic violence is wrong. Why are you angry when people speak about domestic violence? And when somebody looks at me and tell me, I give you $200, you feed in a man with it, you feed in other people with it. Sheldon, $200 not feeding no bird, no hummingbird, no goldfish, no nothing, no guppy, nothing. $200. Caleb have party. By the time you buy the clothes, you give him the party bags, you give him money to jump on the jumping thingy in the school. $200 finish, and people behaving as if $200 is a lot of money. It needs to be changed. And the fact that 99.9% of the time is a woman who will get abused. The % of that, the rest of that 100 of men, they don't report. If you don't report, I cannot speak for you.
So tell me, what have the efforts that have been made, I would suppose, by people like yourself and others, to appeal and plead for a revision of this $200 per month and so on? What kind of response?
We have done a lot of advocacy on that, and I know for sure there is a draft maintenance bill. It has not gone to community consultation yet. I am certainly sure sometime down the road the government is going to send it out to community consultation, which is going to speak about the maintenance of children. We have always said we do not support men being jailed for child support. Those who cannot pay, not working, don't have the money, needs to be helped. Those that have the money, the government need to find a system, a way to garnish that money for the child mother to get that money. So all these things has to be worked into the bill, and it has to be sent out to the public for their comments and whatnot. I'm sure that is being worked on. But at the end of the day, the substantive issue remains that until they put the status of children bill into law, mothers are responsible and have custody of their children. If the mothers are not able to, the court may make an order that the child be placed with somebody else. The foster care system they have so many pitfalls in it. It's like it falling from on top of pity pito. It needs to be fixed. Children get harmed in those foster care situations. Children get harm when you just take them from people's house, from their parents' house, instead of working with the parents to see how you can make them better parents. Just take children. This is wrong. People should not just be taking people's children from their human services in to check themselves.
Okay, 487-9849 is the number to dial, and you can also reach us on 4533911. The 487 number, you can WhatsApp call us on that number. Let me see what it is that we have on the Facebook Live. Marie Frederick believes we should allow men to give birth. You know,
it's time. I support that 100%.
Marie, I need you to come and show me how to give birth. I've been pregnant for a very long time.
Men need to pick up themselves, Shelton, and speak and educate men.
Okay, 1 second. We have a call on the line. Don't lose your train of thought. Caller, good afternoon. Real Issues, you're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon. How do you do, sir?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Madame Silly, comment ça va?
Moi bien.
I know you're a very fortunate lady. You've had great men in your life in whatever way, as you know, guys, you know, kind of like me and so on, good brothers and a good father, and I don't know what else, you know. So you're going to speak well about men, won't you?
Well, I take
that back. Just say what you have to say, okay?
Sheldon, moi c'est un femme qui pas ni compassion pour non.
Okay.
So ou pas mort ou pas jamais accoucher.
Somewhere I did la pour comment anyway.
Let's get to it.
Yes.
Sheldon. I have been saying that for years. We cannot put $200 on a child. There are men that cannot afford $200. We should be asking the men how much money they make. And you don't tell me how much money. You have to prove to me how much money for me to put that on you. $200 cannot feed an Atkinson. Far less a child. And some men believe, oh, I'm not giving you my money because you have a money, your money is my money. How much is $200? What about when my man gives me money and I have to feed your child that you don't provide nothing for? People, that has to change. And some men are very wicked. I know of lots of people, Sheldon and Catherine, they flee St. Lucia for them not to pay child support. Même ces noms ça là, c'est maman ça là manger misère, manger la peau, mango par lui, pour yo venir quoi. Bon Dieu béni yo avec éducation. Yo ni bagay, yo qui manger vieux ti tout bay maman yo qui fait tout bagay bay maman yo. Nom ça là a d'accord pas payer. Même nom qui couri pour pas bay yo manger. Il pour y a dans pays Catherine, il pas ni un morceau papier. Avec ses gamble, il a gamble tous les bons matins. Ou te meilleur rester cette ici sans Yeshua et qui est venu quoi ou pas tenir pour marron et la vous meilleur. We have to change that. And another thing I have to say, I think grandmothers should have access to their sons' children. You want to visit your children, not because you and my son don't get along, for you to tell me my grandson, I should not see my grandchildren. Why? That's your problem with the man. That's not your problem with me. That is how I see it. Except if she's a bad grandmother that told her son, pass when by you. People, have a good day. And Catherine, do what you're doing. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon to the people on the Facebook Live. Teresa Alce, Beverly Randolph, Angel Isaac says, I said from very early that this was orchestrated by Bajans, and that's with reference to Daniel Best replacing Dr. Jean Leon as president of the Caribbean Development Bank. Angel says that is how they are. They will never change. We have to go for a commercial break. This is The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, my special guest in studio, Miss Catherine Seelys of Raise Your Voice St. Lucia, and she's talking because today is World Human Rights Day, and it is also the final day of the 16 days, the annual 16 days of activism to combat all forms of violence and I would say abuse against women and girls. We'll continue our conversation shortly.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
From our home to yours, NBC Real FM family wishes you a joyful Christmas. Thank you. Watch NBC for your favorite Christmas movies and programs and tune into Real FM for your shot at winning fabulous prizes.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all!
Get more with Quartz Ready Finance. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance for your chance to win $50,000 in cash. Plus, win amazing prizes every week. Fast and easy application process, quick approval, fixed monthly installments, insurance protection, convenient, apply online, affordable payments, fixed interest rates for easy budgeting. Quartz Ready Finance. Ready when you are.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate help prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Catherine Seelers, continue doing the amazing work that you are doing. Continue speaking up. And with applause emojis, hands clapping, Many may not like your tone of voice or attitude, and I know you're not bothered by that. Bravo, cuz. From Anna Rose Anemone. All right, we have a caller on the line I can hear. Good afternoon, Real Issues. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, listen to us on the phone, talk to us on the phone. The TV or whatever will put you off.
Shelton and yeah, good afternoon, Shelton.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, no, my TV is not on.
Okay, all right, go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh.
Something wrong there?
Okay. Miss Seelys, I just wanted to ask you. How did your 16 days of activism go?
So my 16 days of activism went by just providing services to people in our office. We did not do any activities because these days we have no time and energy, because from 9 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the night, we have to deal with people, getting support for them, preparing referrals, preparing care plans for them, providing counseling, providing food and whatnot. So my 16 days went providing support services to people. So today is the last day, and I really wanted to bring to the fore the reasons why we do these 16 days is to bring an end to violence against women and children. And we are speaking of domestic violence today, and everybody up in arms. If we start talking about child sexual abuse and we talk about rape and sexual assault, I don't know what they would do.
Yeah. Okay, anything further from you, caller? All right, I think we have to go. This person is listening to us on another device, you know. Yes, when one is passionate about her work, that makes her aggressive, ? And that's from Cecilia Ale. Stanislas Masso says, Lucians, we are the best. The lady isn't angry. Agnes Joseph says, very good, Miss Seelys. Great answer. Not sure I can recall with reference to what. Juliana Abraham found something amusing. She said, ha ha ha, Miss Catherine Seelys. Vernon Casabon says, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel and your guest. And Lucy Manuel says, good afternoon, Shelton, Terry, and viewers. No, you didn't see Terry here. You were recording yesterday. It's actually Catherine Seelys who's my guest, and they don't look alike, not in the least. Good afternoon to you, Ivy Mitchell. Do we have someone else on the line? Yes, we do. Good afternoon, Real Issues. Hello. All right. This person checked out. All right, they'll be back. 487-9849, the mobile number on which you can WhatsApp call us, and 4533-911. We have someone else on the line. You're on the air. Hello? Hello? Hi, caller, are you there? Folks, once you call us and you get the line, you may have been following us on the TV, on the radio, whatever. Turn it down and just focus on talking to us and listening to us through your telephone. It don't matter if it's a mobile or if it's whatever, because once you see you're still trying to follow and to hear what we're saying on the TV, whatever, the delay is going to put you off completely. Okay? All right. And it will also cause sometimes some feedback for us inside there. We have another call on the line, do we? Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Sir, good afternoon, Shelton.
Good afternoon.
Honorable.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Seeley.
Hi, good afternoon.
I happened to meet Miss Seeley 2 years ago in New York, Shelton. And Miss Seeley was explaining to me her work. And Miss Seeley, let me tell you, I stand with you 200% in what you are doing. Stay angry, and I stay angry with you. Trust me on that one. When it comes, we like to, for some reason, you just observe it, Shelton. Anytime you hear people start standing for something that is right, and they start talking about abuse, you see some men, I'm a man too, but I will never try to defend anybody who abuse children, abuse women. Shelton, I see that too many times when I was growing up in my eyes, for me to stand up and say, oh, that guy is a good guy, so it's not all men. I ain't saying that at all. If you're doing it, do good, continue to do good. If you're not abusing, continue not abusing. But if you put 200 people in the house in one room and 100 women and the other is 100 men, 80 of that women will get abused. just about 10 of that men will get abused. I ain't defending no man on that thing. You all want to come and defend because the lady is speaking about children being abused, women have been abused. You all want to look for all kinds of excuses. Where? Makasi pote hot, Makadu butekot. I stand with you, Miss Silly. The person who called and asked, how did your 16 days go? I think they should really call you and tell you, you know what, next time let me join you and try to help you instead of trying to find out. Because for some reason, when people decide to speak up, men in particular want to come and play and try to defend and try to play, oh, we bossy or we doing this. Shelton, I am glad I have a wife who I can count on, who I can say that has helped me throughout life, who have stand with me and helped me raise our children. And if anything should happen to us today, that we should separate, Shelton, I can gladly tell her, babes, take the children. Just let me see them. Let me see how much I can afford to help them. Because that woman, Shelton, she loves her children. I love my children also. But let me tell you, without my wife, I would not be able to raise my kids. I can tell you that much. I would not be able to. I know God would give me the strength, and some might say, oh, you shouldn't say that. But let me tell you, the way my wife cares for the children, Shelton, I am proud, I am happy that I have a wife like her. We like to try and defend wrong too much. Miss Tilly, stand strong. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to do the work that you're doing. God is going to give you the strength. We may not all stop abuse of women and children because it started from ages before we were born. But do as much as you can. We will lessen the situation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother B. Thanks for that.
One of the things I've discovered, Shelton, once you see people cannot do what they want with you, they label you. So they say you're angry, they say you fat, they say you ugly, they say a lot of things. I've been rebellious from the time I was 7. When I was 7, my mother sent me and live with my sister because she said I'm not her child. So do not come at me and think I'm going to stand up there and I'm going to be tiptoeing around you. If you come at me, I'm coming back at you twice.
Let me ask you, we have a call on the line. Let's take
Hello?
a call. There's something I want to ask you about, the patterns and the repetition of abuse, and whether that is something that is manifesting itself in a lot of the men who are abusive, that maybe they have either been abused or exposed to. Well, let's come there. Let's hold the thought. We have
In
a call
some
on the line.
instances, yes.
Let's hold the thought. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, okay. Shelton, I wanted to make a comment on the $200 maintenance rate. And I'm glad to hear Ms. Seeley say that there is some bill around that is supposed to be coming. I believe that bill has been long in coming and nothing had been done. That bill, that maintenance was raised in 1992 amidst a lot of turmoil and drama in the cabinet and in the parliament. Nobody since then has done anything about that $200. But everybody runs their mouth and say, oh, $200 is nothing. I agree. It is nothing. But it was the men themselves that were against it, bringing it any higher, saying that they were, because it's not a vote catcher. Men say when they have 5 children and 10 children, how you can ask them to pay $200 per child? So I am glad to hear that they are doing something about that rate of maintenance. It's pathetic. I know that. But let's do something about it. It's how many years now? It's 22 years or so, 27 years that bill is on, that maintenance is there. Nobody doing anything about it. Nothing. So I'm glad to hear Miss Seeley's, as usual, warrior as she is going to take it up and push that bill, because you're not going to get support from men on that. I can tell you that. So that is what I wanted to say about that issue, because I'm tired of hearing people say, oh, $200 is nothing enough. I agree. Do something about it, including the lawyers.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay.
When we formed this group, Shelton, in 2012.
Let's raise your voice.
Yes.
Okay.
We are the ones, with the support of Mrs. King, Rumelia King, because she was the former director of the family court, who told us about the OECS family law bills, which included the domestic violence bill, the child justice bill, the child care protection and adoption bill, the child maintenance bill, and the status of children's bill. Our advocacy brought those bills to the attention of the public. Under the UWP, 2016 to 2021, they took the Child Justice Bill, I think somewhere around 2018, and the Child Care and Protection and Adoption Bill to Parliament. But they did not have consultation with civil society and the public. And that is why it is on the order paper today for 1 o'clock for an amendment, because they did what they wanted. Public servants spoke to themselves and they took it to Parliament, and it has so many issues. So right now the government have to amend both of the Child Justice Bill and the Child Care and Protection and Adoption Bill. They have to amend them or do something, because they're not functional in the way they are now.
Okay. Do we have any call on the line? Okay, yes, we have someone on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Nowadays, women don't depend on man again. Everybody.
Hello. Hi, caller. Are you there? Okay, the caller seems to be talking to somebody else. So.
Sharon, good afternoon, Catherine.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You need to talk to us through the
Miss
phone.
Catherine Seeley, you will never stay there and let a man abuse you. You will never let a man give you a slap. I will not let a man give me a slap. Why the women should stay there and let men beat them? Because they're depending on the man, they're lazy, and they don't want to go and look for work to do. I will have 12 children, I will run away with my 12 children, I will not sit and let a man give me another slap. Bye-bye.
Okay.
So I'm going to disagree with that sentence in its entirety. Shelton, I can tell you, my mother raised me. My mother raised me as a single mother. My mother raised 12 children. 10 of us are still alive. 2 of my brothers has passed. And my mother taught us that we to understand self-sufficiency, how to take care of yourself. If you need something, you have brothers, you have sisters, you have family, you don't do that.
But how many mothers?
So my mother
do not raise
exactly.
their daughters the way
My
you
mother
raised?
taught us that.
In fact, several mothers are known when a daughter comes and tells them how this man is doing me this and he has women and so on. Make about it, you have everything you want. You have the house. You're going to leave the house for him. You know, these are the kind of things that I'm told a lot of them are being told, that, you know, just don't get him angry, because otherwise he pays all the bills, he gives everything. And they're being told those things by the very people who should have their back, you know.
And this is why I am explaining, this is why I am who I am. Because my mother taught me that I needed to be responsible for me. So at the end of the day, a man will not decide that they want to abuse me because the man know that I am not going to stand for it.
But I'm saying you're one person. I'm saying
I am one person, but
economic dependence, economic subjugation, and so on.
Economic dependence is not across the board. I am explaining that to say that women raise their children and their father in the same house, because we believe in St. Lucia that a man and a woman in the same house is a complete home. And because I raised my 2 children are not complete. It's a broken home.
Okay.
But I can tell you, my mother raised us and taught us values and things that has made us who we are today.
How do you get your mother's thinking transferred to other women?
But other women raise their children. The father must eat first. The father clothes must wash first. The father must get the bigger fish. The father getting the first set of food. So we are always pandering to men. So we are always dependent on men. So we are not strong within our own self, because we feel without men and without treating men better than ourselves and our children, that we are doing something good.
Okay.
It is something that is taught, is how you are socialized. Some other person will feel, I was raised in my grandmother, because we have noticed in our work, domestic violence is a cycle. They tell you poverty is a cycle. They don't tell you domestic violence is a 90% of the time a woman comes to us, by the time we're doing the inquiry report into why she is in an abusive relationship, the grandmother was abused, the mother was abused, she was abused as a child. So it's a cycle that comes down the road.
Tell us about the cycle of abuse and how it impacts men and boys and so on, that they themselves are abusers because they were abused or exposed to abuse.
I know boys who are not abused that are abusive. I know boys who are abusive because of the environment and peer pressure. I know boys who are abused because they were abused. Sexual abuse of boys is something that is hidden, but is very, very pervasive
and
in St. Lucia.
The socialization, how they are socialized.
I can get a girl to come to counseling so I can help her because she was abused, because she had issues. You cannot get a boy unless the mother and the father is strong and drags him to the counseling session each week.
Okay.
We have some parents who do it.
What about what
boys?
About, the socialization
Boys just want to be angry and reactive. They don't want to be fixed, and it's a problem. Why do you think it is so hard for us to be able to mobilize them, for us to talk to them about their behavior, gun violence, and whatnot? We cannot say all of that without saying that the social services has played a big role in the behavior of children because their practices and policies and processes are not working.
Okay.
So children who go through the social services usually come out on the wrong side of the track, so to speak, without thinking of a better word. And they are the ones that need a lot more care and attention because they take them from their mother. The mother can't take care of them. But where they put them is worse. Instead of working with the mother, we always believe that you must rehabilitate a woman to take care of her children. Let me tell you something, Shelton. Mothers can do what they want to children. Children are attached to their mother regardless of what. Regardless of what. So the government of St. Lucia.
Which children are you talking about?
All children.
Because, Catherine, let me tell you something. Growing up as a young boy, the first part of my life was with both parents, early life. My parents split. I'm saying socialization, and let me explain what I mean, because you're the expert. When I say socialization, as a young boy growing up, you exposed to the influence of other boys and older men, who some you passively pick up what they're saying. Some of them actually coach you when you're growing up. Some of them make you believe that the only thing about a woman you should be concerned is to score, to get it. And once you get it, that it's part of the manly thing to slide and to escape and to learn how to chat her and to make her believe, oh boy, you're totally in love with her. But at the end of the day, it's just that hit you want to make. And like that song says, a hit and run. Now, you probably grew up with those kind of things in your mind, that the only thing that's important about a woman is the sex, and to get it from her, and not to develop that kind of care and that kind of love and that kind of bonding and so on. So what I'm saying is, when I speak about abuse, there is the abuse that boys are sexually abused, but there is also the socialization. And I think the vulnerability to that kind of socialization may be more acute in situations of single parent, where there's no father, no model to really model on positively. And so it becomes the community, becomes the older men.
If we do a study now, we find all the children, all the young boys, all the girls you see that go into secondary school, that go into A-level, that go into university, that working in good jobs, that are good jobs, were raised by women. Were raised by women. And I say that because I know it and I see it. My mother raised all of us. None of us are behaving that way. Because my mother used to make it her business. I am sending you to school and these are the rules. I expect you to abide by those rules. I don't expect you to do other than that. But we always had in the back of our heads that my mother say that I cannot do that.
You keep referencing your
because
mother.
that is my reference.
But hold on, Catherine. You are a social whatever advocate and social worker and all of that. I'm saying whatever it is. But your mother was a paragon of values and virtues. I know many mothers who are like that. That no matter how much we pour, you come home with a man with a nice car and whatever. Your mother wants to know, who's he? Is he married? She's going to go and ask him, what are your intentions with my daughter? Who's that man who come in and drop you? We know the old-fashioned mothers, you understand? Who no matter how much things were hard with them, there were certain values and principles and so on that they would not compromise upon. And daughters remember them back then in that time for who they were and so on.
That sense too.
All I'm saying, around the CBC now and for a good while going on and so on, who are the people modeling those young men and socializing them? All right, Catherine, we're running out of time. Somebody says there's a woman whose underage daughter was with a drug man who was beating her. When she wanted to leave, her mother told her that she, the daughter, will not stop her getting her fish and other benefits. All right, there's someone who sent me that and so on. So.
Shelton, that is an ordinary case. We want
that is a mother who's not like your mother. That's what I'm saying. And there are many of them.
And there are a lot of people like my mother, and they have a lot of people that would not encourage that kind of behavior.
Who's in the majority? Like Catherine's mother, or those who are, compromising?
If my mother was not in the majority, I don't know where would be in St. Lucia. Right. We are allowing the cases that jump at us to behave as if all single mothers are bad and they need a man in the house to be able to raise children.
Okay.
There are some fathers that they're abusive, they don't know how to treat their children, they have all kind of bad habits. They're better off not being around their children, let their mothers raise them. We are trying to say that single motherhood is the cause of issues. No. It is who raised the person that's the single mother.
Okay.
What kind of socialization the person that's the single mother had that they now cannot be a good mother to their child.
Okay.
And we continue to ignore the same children with issues are the same children who grow up and become teachers and public servants and this and that, and they have the same bad habits.
Okay, so
yes.
So you're coming back to the same point where I was saying that those who have been abused have a strong potential to become abusers. And I'm saying those who have been badly nurtured and badly socialized, they're now in a position where they can misnurture and missocialize.
And we have a lot of misnurturing in the public service.
Okay, all right. So we're out of time, Catherine. You have to be here more often, okay? Because you have so many things that we got to say. We're not getting time to say it because of how dropped by Ase Suvan, okay? But thank you very much, my friend, okay? I've appreciated having you here. It's one of those always lively, highly energized programs. Anytime I have you, you're one of those that, really keeps the octane boosted. Thank you very much, Jaquan, for another superb job at the controls and with the calls. We have to run now, folks, till tomorrow, same time from 12:30 to 2 on Real FM Radio, MBC Television, the Facebook Live and YouTube live streaming. Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
From our home to yours, MBC Real FM family wishes you a joyful Christmas. Thank you. Watch MBC for your favorite Christmas movies and programs and tune into Real FM for your shot at winning fabulous prizes.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all!
Get more with Quartz Ready Finance. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance for your chance to win $50,000 in cash. Plus, win amazing prizes every week. Fast and easy application process, quick approval, fixed monthly installments, insurance protection, convenient, apply online, affordable payments, fixed interest rates for easy budgeting. Quartz Ready Finance.
FP. One off. 502. Lucky 3. 587. Lucky 3 Multi-X FP.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton